Alright, Handbook Deluxe Edition, Issue 6. Hume on Fire through to Quasar, Lord of the Jungle, Quasar. Full cover here, Jason Byrne, 2 Iron Men, Invisible Wife, Snowman, many characters. This remains my favourite version of the Handbooks. Which is your favourite? We don't often begin an issue of the Handbooks with an A-lister, but we have got Hume on Fire from Fantastic Force here. Flame on. 3 pages. Perfect length. That is one of my favourite things about the profiles in this. They are all pretty much the perfect length for the respective characters. Hydra, team entry for Hydra, with the immortal and unbeatable table grid of heads showing us members. Sure, has been a lot of Hydra members over the years. These heads are by your boy Zek. I like them. These heads here, something like Red Skull Man or Chameleon or Space Pants Man, have the right amount of style to them. Captain Stingray's Island, soon to be Avengers Island, and soon to be destroyed by Mr. Doom. Hydro, the man with hydraulic arms. One of the first Spider-Man cartoon episodes I saw. Snowman. If he was gay all along, you would think that Handbooks would have noticed. Orion from the New Gods. 2 pages for him. Pushing it a bit. You always had characters like this in the Handbooks. Doesn't matter what era of Handbooks you look at. Flavours of the month. This was a magician that was in Steve Engletine's Vision and Charlotte Witch series. Never appeared outside of it. Gets a full-page profile in this round of Handbooks. Kronos. Not the last we've seen of him in this Handybook either. The Legion of Superheroes. Fuck, how am I going to do this? Let's see how much I remember. Cosmic Boy, Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, the original 3 there. Brainiac 5, Chameleon Boy, Sun Boy, isn't it? Always get him and Wildstar confused. Ultra Boy, that's Wildstar, that top one. That one is Wildstar. Colossal Boy, Timberwolf. Oh yeah, a lot of the names, the actual names, they were changed after this. But that one is Violet, Shrinking Violet. Shadow Lass. Oh fuck, don't know. Next one's White Witch and Starboy. Who is that one I cannot get though? Princess Projectra, maybe. These ones are the harder ones. I did work these out ages ago. I worked out who they are meant to be, but they are quite obscure ones and I cannot remember any of them. I think they are all members of the Legion of Substitute Heroes, except maybe the first one. No, it's the first one, not Princess Projectra. I don't know. I will say, people online, irrationally, think that they are meant to be main ones. Like the second one here isn't in any way Triplicate Girl, is it? They think it's her. Unposable Man and Unposable Woman. Black and White Minstrel. Not having that in this day and age. Unhumans. more popular than the excellent men ever were. Smaller profiles for individual members of the race that currently don't warrant full entries. Here's a thought. Which of these have since received full profiles in the 2000s revamped Andy books? Let's do that. This guy, they rechristened him Skybreaker, and he went on to appear in a bunch of New Warriors, and pardon my French, but he may have appeared in New Thunderballs, the big team at the end. Tree Fella, he definitely got a full profile later on. Kid Flash, the Flash and Iris West's daughter, she absolutely did. Then we just have Eds. None of these got profiles. And Fedor isn't shown here. BTW, half of the Legion of Superheroes, later got full profiles. A Peter Gilbert New Defenders original. Ate that run. The run that killed the Defenders. Literally, it killed the Defenders. How the fuck is he getting 2 pages? He's in like an issue. The rest is mysterious setup for a stranger. Garbage. Not garbage. Invisible wife. Not so invisible now, is she? Something to think about. Maybe the amount of images in some profiles is overkill. We could get a lot more text if we just dumped 1 or 2 of these countless pictures of invisible wife. Some of them are doubles as well. They are showing the same thing. There's 2 of her showing her floating platforms, and 2 showing her invisible constructs, and 2 showing her invisible blasts, but none showing her in an invisible bubble. Sorry, I take that back. She is in one there, but the focus is on the construct rather than the bubble. Iron Man, which is time to not talk about Iron Man, but something that you maybe missed. There is no profile for Iron Fist. Let's get into my theory. There was a profile, but then Iron Fist died in the final issue of Powerful Man and Iron Fist. Their plan may have been to scoop it up from this issue and dump it in the Book of the Dead at the end of the run. Except Iron Fist doesn't appear in the Book of the Dead either. I assume they just forgot, or they didn't have room for him. His profile, what I assume was verbatim his profile that would have ran in these, is included in the 89 update, even though the character doesn't appear once between these Andy books and the 89 update. The loss is that if it had ran in these ones, I think they would have coloured his costume red, whereas in the 89 update, they have it in his classic green. It's the real Iron Man here, Rhodey Rhodes, using art of the other Iron Man. Rhodey Rhodes never battled Captain Cold. Sadly, I would have loved to read that one. So if anyone is writing fan fiction, can you write a comic that came out in 1984 where Rhodey Rhodes Iron Man fought Captain Cold, and it matches this image here, which I think is from Iron Man 123, the cover for Iron Man 123. I am probably off by 1. Ace of Spades. He currently co-stars in She-Hulk's as She-Hulk's boy toy. Would you think less of me if I told you I download the current She-Hulk's comic every month out of curiosity for if they are ever going to acknowledge Marvel Zombie Supreme. Satan's Son was in one recently, and I wasn't offended by his portrayal. I was, however, a bit offended by the portrayal of Slayer Man in another issue. Now ain't the time for my review of the current She-Hulk series. Here is Pumpkin King. One of the harder names for me to say. Pumpkin King. The trick is, it would be easy to say Pumpkin King, but that's wrong. Pumpkin and king are different words. They should be pronounced differently. They sound alike, but they are pronounced differently. Pumpkin King. It might sound the same to you, but king has a G on the end, and pumpkin doesn't. And fuck, you don't want to know how intense my brain gets when it comes to pronunciation. You know, in one video I say utero when I mean utero, and I'll tell you the story now why I said it wrong. First time I encountered the word was Nirvana, the album In Utero, and I thought it was like a place in Rome. Utero, some place in Rome or whatever. I didn't know it was meant to be about the uterus. Actually, there's more to that story. I thought it was a lyric from Smells Like Teen Spirit. The Here We Are Now, Entertain Us. I thought it was Here We Are Now, In Utero. I don't know, I was fucking 13. But, yeah, in my mind, instinctively, it sees or thinks of the word utero and thinks utero. I am glad I got that off my chest before someone commented on my review of New Excellent Men 153 and said, "Dude, you say utero wrong." The J.K. James Simmons family, one of the few living civilians that get a profile here. This is another thing to get into. My belief was originally that the only civilians that received entries were those that once had powers. Dickie Jones, in a few pages you'll see him, or in this case, when J.K. Jonah James Simmons had the Spider Slayer. But no, Henry Guy Ritchie gets a profile in the previous issue, actually. Another one over here. He had powers for a time when he was Man-Wolf, and before that, Jupiter Man. In fact, that is him as Jupiter Man, which is even older than Man-Wolf. Was he actually called Jupiter Man? Have I made that name up? It's not listed on his entry here. Amazing Spider-Man 42. Was he called Jupiter Man in that? There he is as Man-Wolf. Box was always getting fucking entries, wasn't he? Probably because of his crazy name. Where does he come up with that sort of thing? But this was 1986. He had barely any appearances, and he has a full page here. We are just at the start of Bill Bungalow's run on Alpha Strike, and this character has a full page entry. He wasn't even Box yet. Surely you jest. Remember when Galactus Man said that to Sword Man? I reckon if someone wanted to, they could have made him into a semi-okay Daredevil enemy, but they never did, and he just stayed a shit Joker knockoff. Dickie Jones. And for a civilian, he has 3 pages. He has more text than Invisible Wife does. Juggernaut. I heard nothing can stop him. Jennifer Ale. Voice actress Jennifer Hale. First introduced in Swamp Thing, and then appeared in Marvel Zombies. Told you there was more Kronos, and he is wearing a cape, which he never wore that often. They give profiles to each of Kronos's iterations, and I don't know if that's really worthwhile, because it means there is a lot of repeated information. Big Bear, also featuring in the current She-Hulk series. Him and Mark Moonrider, they are She-Hulk's clients. They have been evicted or something. Seriously, you will think less of me if you looked at the She-Hulk series and knew I was looking at it every month. Korma. No, I still can't say it. Chicken korma. That's what it's meant to be like. Korma. That type of korma. It just always sounds like I'm saying coma, like the medical emergency. Cognac of the Unhumans. Caligula. Quasar. And who was your favourite character or thing in this? Was it that magician from Steve Engletine's Vision and Charlotte Witch? It was, wasn't it? Well, what is your second favourite? Mine would be Etrigan the Demon, who is on the back cover, but he isn't actually in this one, so I rate this a very low 7 thumbs up.